The Good Ride, making mediocre matter one good setup at a time. So this, readers of The Good Ride, is the Good Ride review. Can I say Good Ride a few more times? Of the Outkome from Alloy, 2019. And just to give you a quick summary, this is a kind of a directional twin in shape, but on camber profile, there's kind of a setback camber with a little early rise in the tail and a lot more in the nose. And it makes it a much more well-rounded kind of one board quiver compared to the Alloy Sniper you have off to the right of me here, or maybe left, camera angles, whatever, camber perspective. And it's just a great kind of do anything one board quiver for those who need a little bit of float and powder but still kind of want something they can do a little bit of everything with when they're groomers. You can center it up and set it back, and it's got a little bit of everything. It's a great compromise board is what I call them. Now it's got I wrote it with Union Atlas and Adidas tactical ADVs and Union Stratas, and got a few days on this in varied conditions, everything from a little powder to some very good groomers. Finally got a sunny day, so thought I'd just film. And you got to see, it's got a nice medium stiff flex, medium stiff. There's it's a little softer in the tip and tail, and buttering this is so much easier than the Sniper. It just mainly you got that early rise, and it's already kind of pre-flexed for you, so you can get over there, and then you don't have to get over much more after that. So it's a very good board for buttering and playing around. It's not super soft, but you know, coming from the Sniper, it was a nice change. And the camber profile is a good bit of camber. Check the On the Table review. But there's enough rocker in the tail and nose to make it feel stable but not catchy. So it tracks really well off the chair, like one footing around, going down a long cat track, you know, flat basing, straight lining, any of that. It's got a nice, stable, fun, easy feel to it. And it's just a nice balance of feeling kind of camberish, but not feeling like consequence of the not having the consequence of camber. And in the edge hold's really good. That slight disruption in side cut really helps, and really makes this a fun board in those medium hard days when you keep getting hard patches and stuff. You know, when it's hard to icy, I mean, you really just want to go home, but you know, if you can't, you know, or you just want to ride, or you're waiting for it to soften up, this will hold pretty well. It's not like massive, and it's not going to grab hard in soft wet snow either, so that's great. You know, the turn initiation, it's kind of like the Sniper. It's very quick edge to edge. It was easy to get where I wanted to go, and once you get it over and you're engaging that side cut, it's fun. You can circle carve, you can, you know, do sweeping across, you know, you can do all kinds of radius there and have a good time with it. Now, the turning experience and carving is very good for what it is. It's not going to blow your mind, like, you know, being on both these boards on the same day, taking a few runs each. You know, on this last day of filming, it's always fun to compare to other boards. And I actually did compare this to a couple of our favorites too, like the S Basic Decade and the Loaded Algernon today. I did a little sampler. And I gotta say, the Outkome held its own and did a great job. It does feel a touch more directional, but when you turn this around and ride it switch, it's not as bad as you would think for the you know, for the camber. But it carves, it regular and switch, rails good turns, and it's a very fun turning experience, especially for just a, you know, a good bump in the center, and then kind of coming out into rocker. You know, the speed, just alloy, these bases came waxed, but they've just got good bases to them. They keep their speed well, and it does a good job. It's damp, it's good, and an uneven terrain, this is like a great board for uneven. If you're an all-day resort rider and you know, you're planning to deal with some messy into this snow, you want to be there from the beginning to the end of the day, this is a great option for you because it handles uneven terrain really well. It doesn't buck you around too much in you know, like tracked powder, and it handles micro bumps well. It just seems to have just kind of a nice balance from that micro bumpy hard snow that can sometimes just pass all that chatter up into your body. And it also deals with like bigger bumps and messy uneven. You make a wrong turn down a run, and or maybe for some it's a right turn, it's the correct turn, you want to go down bumps, but if you're going down bumps, it's not bad. It turns really well. It's quick edge to edge, so you can kind of weave around the bumps or power over them without it bucking you around too much. And switch, like I said before, is very doable, going each way. It's good. And powder, setting this back and riding this, you know, off my local mountain. I hiked up one morning and took this down, you know, some decent powder, and it floated really well. It's no directional, tapered, super free ride board, but it's right there with most of the good all mountain boards out there, and it's got good directional float. You set this all the way back, you're gonna have a pretty good time, and you know, if it gets super deep, yeah, you're gonna be fighting off your back leg, but it's gonna handle most powder. And it's just like what all mountain boards do. They do a little bit of everything, you know? You might be able to jib a little bit with this, but it's a stiffer flex. It's a little unforgiving, but it's gonna ride pipe really well. It's good for a kicker or two. It's not like the Sniper if you wanna go big, but for most of us, average riders out there, this is all you'll need. And it's got good pop, and it ollies well. And then, you know, overall, I just think they did a really good job, because Alloy seemed to always have like one board for one kind of more of a specific task. You know, they have the B-Bomb for the all mountain freestyle rider. They have the Sniper for kind of the aggressive mountain rider, the full camber. You know, they played around with the camber profile. They go back and forth between the Sniper full camber and the Sniper hybrid camber. When it was hybrid camber, it was a great all mountain one board quiver. Now it's kind of more of a, you know, put this away when there's powder, unless you're an old school, you know, amazing rider who knows how to keep their speed and just jam and powder with a camber board. But this kind of satisfies, they tweaked that Sniper into something else, and now they have a dedicated all mountain board, kind of their one board quiver, that can be a free ride board on powder days, or if you want to set it back a little bit more. But when you center it up, you still have a directional twin for riding the mountain, and I think that's a great thing. So there you have it, the 2019 Alloy Outkome. Very fun board.